Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sergey. I hope you are doing fine. And today we will discuss about using different pipeline. We'll be using wooden planks to assemble our building. We'll be using modeling tools in Unreal. We'll be using masking and a lot of cool stuff. Let's go. So in this pipeline, we will start from the creating a basic plank. Then we will create a high poly for this plank. I already have a couple of planks which are prepared, but I will show some moments and basic approaches of the creation of these planks. So low poly, high poly in Zbrush, then go into Substance Painter, creating something in Substance Painter, then assemble construction based on our planks kit. And then we will see what we can do with this kit in Unreal Engine and what kind of textures we can assemble. Let's go. So on this point, I'm modeling a plank this way that it should have interesting silhouettes. So you see, I have been using multicut and tweaked polygons because I want to have initial interesting setup of the silhouette before going to the ZBrush. And you see, I'm tweaking polygons a little bit. You do not need to do it too much. You just need to have something. Then I started working in ZBrush. In ZBrush, my main goal is to have something on bevels or edges of the model, and also to have something interesting happening on inner silhouette of the plank. I'm not doing too much sculpting because you can achieve it with Substance Painter or Substance Designer a lot. So I think your zebra sculpt should be clean and readable, and overall just have something interesting for normal. So I'm sculpting this plank. I have used other planks, 6 of them, which I done for Water Temple, and I will be showing you them later. Let me stop on this moment and describe you a few moments which I'm doing in ZBrush. In ZBrush, I'm not using a lot of tools. My main goal to have something interesting for baking, like normal and displacement. I'm using Trim Smooth Border, Trim Smooth Dynamic, Clay Buildup, Clay, Backface Masking, and of course Dynamesh, and mostly that's all. I'm using Square Alpha because it gives you opportunity to create a little bit more interesting look of the wood. Truth be told, I'm not spending too much time on my planks, and in the end I have been using planks which are already done and a little bit modified for this tutorial. And now let's continue in Substance Painter. So this is planks which I initially used, but I have changed UV a little bit, and I am using height information, height bake in this pipeline because I decided to try a new update in Substance Painter with possibility to use height map. In Substance Painter, there are nothing too interesting. There are a couple of tricks. First trick that I'm using some ready wood from Textures.com as a base. I'm baking this information from the wood into the normal and rebaking curvature. So you see, I'm exporting my bake. Then I'm importing normal and ambient occlusion back and assigning them to the slots. And then I rebaking world space normal, position and curvature, and changing type of the curvature bake back to the old one based on the normal. Because in this case, my smart materials now will start using curvature from new normal. You also can achieve the same result with micro detail, but for me, just easier and more flexible to do it this way. So usually I'm doing some pre-stage with height maps, then exporting and using it again. So then I start using some kind of smart material as a base. This smart material is SE I bought them a long time ago and still using. They have very good basic layout, but then I'm changing a lot of in these materials. I'm using a lot of triplanar projection in this tutorial. I was playing with UV triplanar projections, so like I'm trying to achieve interesting wood on this stage, and then I start using white paint. Initially, I was planning to use this white paint as a possibility to tint it, and to achieve proper white paint on wood planks, I have used light generator. This is pretty cool feature usually used for cartoony look because you can bake light. But in this case, I used it for creating this damaged feeling. You see with some kind of work, you can achieve pretty cool result. So it's something similar to edge damage, but a little bit different. And that's another reason why I baked my normal, because generating will working with this normal. So yeah, you see it's giving pretty good result. There also like have been additional passes on top of the smart materials, but in reality not too much. So you see I am combining different lights from different angle positions with linear add dodge. So I'm just like combining masks and trying to achieve interesting look, and I think it was looking pretty interesting. So then I used some Megascan stuff for information in my base paint, because the initial base paint was just fill node and was looking a little bit boring. And I think using Megascans can be a very good trick to have a little bit of more information in your materials. Sadly, Substance Painter crashed, so I have reworked my planks. You see, this was my reference, and yes, that's how my plan kit was looking. I checked it with PBR validator, and then started using these planks in Maya to assemble. Let's sum up what I have done in Substance Painter. I have been using 6 UV planks using one material. I have used copy of my mesh to see both sides of the wooden planks. I have baked displacement in Substance Painter with plan to use it in Unreal Engine. I have been using PBR validator to check my planks in the end. I have been doing my blanks with the goal to be tinted and using mask. That's why they're using white paint and pretty contrasty. I have baked a lot of additional information from Megascans data or photogrammetry one, because I wanted to have a lot of interesting detail in my surface, which I wanted to take part of the generator, but I do not want to sculpt them because it's very hard and time consuming. Now we're ready to go and assemble our building. So you see I'm preparing my planks, naming them properly. I have used both pipelines. One pipeline was assemble house in Maya, and another pipeline was assembling house in Unreal, because I was testing what will work better. So yeah, here right now you see that I have been assembling house by using my planks. Initially, I have 6 unique planks. With rotation, it's mean you have 12 unique planks. And I was doing shed because I wanted to show you something interesting, but pretty simple from the geometry. So I created a basic cube. And then it just regular stuff, just copy planks and assembling construction. So now we in Unreal, I'm importing my house, and I will be using in it displacement of my height map, which I exported from Substance Painter. If you remember, we baked one because I wanted to test how it will look. And after some tweaking of the settings, it was looking pretty cool. And especially it was looking cool when I decided to work with separate planks. So after what you see, I reassembled the house into this one. Uh, and on this one, I have used my planks as an assembly kit. So I will show you in a second. So you see, this is my planks. I've been using modeling tool in Unreal Engine. You just mesh, you're just placing the meshes. You can use merging, and you see it's working pretty fast, pretty cool. Also, you can create a new UV set, and when I created new UV set, I repacked my existing UVs to use it for masking, and this is incredibly fast compared to what you have in Maya, for example. In Maya, something like that take ages, just like copy UV sets, doing it. But in Unreal, creating new UV set and realign previous UV for masking pipeline was super fast. And also I have done some decimation because I wanted to have a proper mesh in Substance Painter later, which I will use for texturing. The issue, if you will be using too high poly mesh in Substance Painter, it will be... As you see, I have reassembled my shed in Unreal Engine with planks because it was much more comfortable. I have been using Merge tool, Cut tool, I have created new UV sets, I have copied UV set, I have done UV layout, and then copied it again to first channel of the merged mesh, which I prepared for texturing in Substance Painter for masking by using decimation in Unreal. Why I done it in Unreal? Because it was much more faster than in regular Maya pipeline, and it's very flexible to do everything in one place. Roof have been done by using displacement of the tile, and that's why it's looking so cool. And the same technique I have been using for all my wooden planks. I have been using displacement, which I baked in Substance Painter and created pretty dense meshes, which was creating cool inner shading of the all planks. Then I start using this decimated house in Substance Painter to create some masking on my wooden planks, and then exported base color as a mask. I have created my own preset when I'm exporting base color with prefix M to use as a mask because I'm too lazy to create proper preset. I have done pretty complex shader for material layering, which I will post separately because it was a lot of testing what I want to achieve this with this masked shader. So link will be below the video. And you see I'm jumping from Substance Painter to Unreal and testing the result because it was a lot of testing what I want to achieve. You see in some cases I was using hand paint, grunge, and sometimes it was procedural, and I was trying to achieve interesting look on my shed. And in the end, I was pretty happy with the result. Let's discuss why I have been using masking pipeline on our shed. When you are using masking pipeline, you can create a lot of cool variation from one asset. Not every asset, even architectural one, should be done modular way. In this case, because we're using the one material, it's almost the same as using tile, but looking much better and give you a lot of flexibility from the geometry. From the performance perspective, using a lot of modules to create this shed will be not very good idea, and with using nanite, it's not critical that we have pretty dense model. When I have been creating my shader for blending in Unreal, it was a lot of testing. Usually I start from basic setup of the material, then I tinted my paint, and then it was grunge passes, and with a lot of iterations in Substance Painter, we achieved interesting look, which we can improve even more. So now let's go and finish our scene, and let's take a look other variations which we can create with the same asset. Next step was to create an interesting presentation of the house. For that one, I used some free Megascan packs, which I will mention in the video. So I downloaded meshes of background and use them. I downloaded some foliage and terrain material. So you see, I'm just bashing some landscape meshes. Then I'm placing some trees. Trees I have been like placing separately and by using some generators in landscape tool. It wasn't anything complex. I just wanted to achieve interesting composition and interesting look. I also imported some Megascan assets like Tundra Rock, Tundra Boulder, and Tundra Cliff. You will see it in the video. I used only 4 meshes for the whole location, I think, because I just wanted, as was mentioned before, to do some interesting composition. You do not need tons of rock to do something interesting looking. And yeah, some foliage tool for trees, nothing too complex. Mostly I have been using everything manually, not with scattering tool or something like that. Yeah, I also changed background in one moment because it was not fitting the style. I have some experiments with lighting. I was thinking placing a lamp on the shed, but when I started placing it, it was looking silly. So I will remove it in the future. Also, I done some polish painting on top of the rocks to create some kind of silhouette. Not sure it was a good idea, but still wanted to have some sound on the background. And then some experiments with lighting to achieve proper mood and atmosphere. Yeah, you see I added this lamp, which was not super exciting. Yeah, nothing too critical in post-processor, just bloom and everything. And then final tweaking with trees, just again to create interesting depth into the image. And then some fake lighting, because I want to have some interesting aspects in the picture. So mostly I'm painting with the light. And then I used Megascan planks for my wooden frame and some elements of the shed. And you see, it's almost like using as a trim, but not a trim, because I'm using already pretty a lot of polygons. I do not think about that one as a trim, because I do not need normal information on the edges, only some proper diffuse roughness of the material. And then I decided to add some structure to the shed because it was looking a little bit silly because of the big gaps between planks. It exists in real life, but usually they're connected on something. So I decided, okay, let's do something. So you see, it's looking less odd in this case. And then it was last tweaks with lighting, and then I decided to do some camera. I have used Sign Motion pack for camera movement to create something more interesting for transition. And that's how it was done. I hope you will like this video. I also uploaded tutorial on ArtStation which you can buy, where I have described the whole pipeline with much more details, around 2.5 hours of educational material, and this will help the channel a lot. At least I will ask you to click a like if you like this one, and I will see you later. It was Sergey, and make good art.